Oh, hi everyone, and welcome to today's game of D&D 5e Misfits by A. Kelly Lane. Before I hand over to Kelly to go through all of these wonderful people and all the other things, let's go through the station announcements and also tone down the music just a little bit, because I'm struggling to hear myself. Yeah, so guys, social links, go and check out our Discord, our Twitter and our YouTube. Discord, come and be part of the fun, inclusive, safe and community where we talk about TTRPGs and all the other wonderful things. Twitter, send me a DM and I'll get you a game. If you like short notice, I probably can get you a game very soon, because, you know, people come and go. I've got 40 games, like 10 games in 40 hours tomorrow, so, you know, people are bound to drop out and drop in and drop out and drop in, so send me a DM. Who knows, you might get a game tomorrow. And YouTube, you can go and catch up on all of last season's games. I've not started uploading this season's games yet, because damn it, I gotta sleep sometime. But last season, very worth watching. Each show is about 12 episodes long, which is 36 hours. It's one Netflix binge, and very much worth your time. What else have we got? We've got a Patreon. Go and check out our Patreon. Patreon's one of the best ways to support us at the minute. Patreon, you can support us from as little as $1. You can support us for as much as you like, and we will very much appreciate it. We have free articles over there which talk about TTRPGs and all sorts of other things, and we are currently aiming for a goal of $500, and we are sitting around the $420, $430 mark. It started going, yeah, but we're close. So every donation counts at the moment. Every little dollar. Don't think that a little donation doesn't matter, because they do. What else do we have? We have merch. Head over to Redbubble, check out our merch. I've not looked to see if they've got any codes over there, but I can look for you right now. You can get our logo on all sorts of things, including t-shirts, jumpers, notebooks, tapestries, wall hangings, acrylic blocks, you name it. I think Kelly got an acrylic block. Didn't you get an acrylic block? Is the acrylic block good? Can you testify for the acrylic block?
I do not have the block.
Oh, what did you get?
I have the t-shirt. I've got the t-shirt that I'm wearing. It's very comfortable.
Didn't you get the Dave the Divine one? Dave the Divine?
I got the Dave the Divine print, which is above me on my wall.
The print. There you go. It's cool. It's cool stuff. Anyway. We also have sponsors. Check out our sponsors, Bird in the Storm Publishing. Bird in the Storm Publishing, they are a publishing writing company who made the Midnight Wield game, which we played 2 nights ago now, maybe 3 nights ago. Time's all blending into one for me. But they're really great. You should go and check out their t-shirts, go and grab a mug, go and grab all the things that they do. Also, they will be bringing loads of content to us in Q2. So, yeah, cool. I've also got someone's name wrong. I'll change that in a minute. What else have we got? Mage Hand Press. Check out Mage Hand Press. They created the Dark Matter expansion for 5e set in the sci-fi universe. Any sci-fi you can think of, you'll find it in that book. So if that sounds cool, if you want to play D&D 5e in Battlestar Galactica or Star Trek or anything like that, go and check out Dark Matter. It's a good time. We also have a tweet today. Every 10 retweets will grant us a trinket from the random magical Christmas list. So do head over and retweet the tweet for tweets. Tweet. That's everything from me. Kelly, why don't you introduce everyone while I fix the names and such?
Hi, everybody. I'm Kelly. I'll be running the show today. If anybody tuned in for Call of Cthulhu that I ran yesterday, prepare yourself for something completely different. This could not get more different. But today, our players are going to go around and they're going to introduce themselves, and then they're going to introduce their characters by kind of sharing with us their character's bedtime routine. What are the last couple of things they do before bed? Where are they going to sleep tonight? Etc. So we will start with Rocky.
Okay. So Rocky is a gnome wizard, and she's very much into her skincare routine. So she's going to end her evening probably in a tavern room somewhere. And she's basically just going to very meticulously be washing and moisturizing and all of that whole shebang that Rocky does that I, don't really do a whole lot. But yeah, she has a very involved skincare routine that she does before she settles in for the evening.
Looks like we got a new friend.
Okay, and how is Robin? Robin, introduce yourselves. Introduce character, Robin. Introduce yourself, Sam, and tell us.
Okay, hi, I'm Sam. I'll be playing Robin. So, what Robin does every night? He's a halfling rogue who likes to think he's a criminal, but might not be so great at it. So every night he has his routine of he likes to put down his cards and tries to count cards, but loses his place quite often. So he'll be, okay, it's 3, 9, 7. Ah, shoot. Got to start over again. Reshuffles. Okay. Counts 0, 0, 1, 3. Ah, shoot. And takes him a few hours to get through a deck of cards.
And where are you going to sleep?
Oh, he sleeps in his tent. He can't afford a place to live because he's not very good at stealing things. He hasn't robbed many banks or anything, so at least not successfully.
Excellent. And moving on around the circle to Bug.
Hi, I am Jordan. I'll be playing Bug today. Bug is a very unusual gnome druid, starting with the fact that she just goes by Bug. But she has this long, light brown hair that is everywhere. And she is currently outside. She loves being outside, very curious, very socially awkward. She's not going to make eye contact with anybody. But she's going to find a really nice tree. And the thing that she does before she goes to bed every single night, she takes a leaf from the tree and braids it into her hair, and then will bury herself in between the roots of the trees and cover herself with leaves. And that's how she goes to bed every night.
Adorable. So Bug is falling asleep under some tree somewhere, snuggled in, cozy. And how is Nick going to bed?
Hi, my name is David, and I'm playing Nick Gelson, a half-orc fighter. And in the room, in a tavern room in some place where he just happened to find work, he's going through and essentially sorting through all his weapons he carries on him and his armor, his bows, arrows, and everything. And he takes the bowling pin that he uses for a club, and just kind of sits on the bed, looks at it contemplatively, then takes out a little crude arrowhead he keeps on a leather strap around his neck, and just gives a little kiss. Then he just lays down in bed and just falls asleep.
And finally, last but certainly not least, seeing as he's the reason that we're all sitting here, Scrat.
Oh, hi. Today I am playing Heinrich Enkel. Heinrich Enkel, he is a line mason. He does lots of maintenance work around wherever the hell we are. Whenever someone needs some stonework repaired, it is him who comes and fixes it for you. However, that is not his true calling. That is not what he was born to be. He was born to be a tuba player. And every night before he goes to bed, he fetches his tuba. And the neighbors have some bone of contention about this, but every night he... very, very loudly. And then he goes to bed, feeling much better.
I expect nothing less.
He also plays the tuba as part of an Oompa band at the bar, but the bar don't pay him for this. They've tried to pay him to stop.
Okay. And so, as our players fall gently to sleep, and everyone has a wonderful night's rest, the next morning, Robin is the first to wake. And Robin, you slowly stir, kind of feeling very comfortable. Everything around you is so soft, but you're cold. And you hear the sound of waves. And as you sit up and look around, you are laying on a beach. Out across from you, you see the sea, the waves coming in with ice flows in the water. And there are 4 other people sleeping soundly around you. But the first thing you notice is that you are in soft cotton pajamas. And the reason you're so cold is you're not wearing any shoes.
What is this? Where am I? And I think Robin is gonna kind of, whoever's to the right of him is gonna slowly just poke to see if they're alive or not.
Rocky, would you wake up from a gentle poke?
Yeah, probably. She's a pretty light sleeper.
And again, you wake up and you are wearing soft cotton pajamas and you are shoeless. For our players that are nervous about their stuff and their armor class, for the purposes of this one shot, don't worry about it. You have your armor class. But you just happen to be shoeless and wearing cotton pajamas.
And thank you very much to Michael Wayne, who donates to give Bug a reroll.
For those of you who are tuning in for the first time or playing for the first time since Scrat has redone the donations on the channel, rerolls are true rerolls. They're not an advantage. You only take the new roll. So if it's worse, it's worse. But hopefully it'll be better. And Nick and Bug and Heinrich, you all also slowly wake up. You realize that you are on a beach, but the sand under you is odd in some way. And you're all wearing cotton pajamas.
Bug is gonna sit up like a zombie raised from the dead, very confused why she's in cotton. I don't even think she knows what cotton is. So probably she's just gonna sit there staring at her arms for a minute and then slowly realize there are people beside her and gradually scoot on her bottom a little bit further away.
I imagine, Bug, that you actually woke up and you were actually kind of buried in the sand a little bit.
Yes! Well, she's gonna like pop up. Look around for a minute.
Which means that you might be the only one to initially notice that this isn't really sand. It's finely ground graham crackers.
She's gonna immediately start. Do I have pockets?
You have like the little pocket you would find on like classic button-down pajamas. And maybe pants pockets.
Shoveling it. She's gonna start shoveling it into her pockets and making sure they're not watching because she wants it all.
Nick, how are you reacting to waking up on the beach on Grand Cracker sand?
What is this? This isn't sand. I mean, I know sand. I've had plenty of experience with it, but this is not sand. And who are all you? Where are we? This is not where I went to sleep.
Yes, but more important than this, what are these pajamas? Who has stolen my leather pants?
What are we even doing here? I don't. Where are we?
You guys just gotta go with the flow. Come on, man.
You're too
Go
soft.
as life takes you.
Is it dark out or is it light?
It's light out.
Ah.
It seems like it's morning. And as you guys are all kind of looking around, you hear, and you see a sparkle in the air.
Who was that?
Look, it's
Who are
over
you?
there.
Perhaps they have my pants. Yo! Stop doing a little jog.
And as Heinrich starts jogging away, he's probably the first to notice that there's a small light. And it's blinking as if it's coming from like a lighthouse. And in the morning dawn light, you can just barely see that it's different.
Let's go to that lighthouse.
Oh no. We are all doomed to die. Do not go into the light.
We're not going into the light. We're going to a lighthouse.
Do they have snacks?
If you see a long tunnel, do not go through it.
I think we should go. I mean, what else is there to do? We could go swimming, but it's pretty cold.
It can
We
be
could
quite
eat.
refreshing, but I think finding out where we are is the more important, and they might have some charts.
I'm Rocky, by the way.
Nick.
Oh yes, my name is Heinrich.
Let's go to the lighthouse.
I believe I did the coving on one of your rooms the other week.
You with the hair eating the sand. Are you gonna come with us?
Maybe.
Well,
What's in it for me? You got some pretzels?
I don't know. They might have pretzels in the lighthouse.
Let's go!
They probably have food.
I mean,
Okay.
if the beach is made of graham crackers, maybe the lighthouse is made of candy canes.
Bug is gonna walk over to the water. Is the water like not water?
It's
She
water.
really wants it to be juice. Oh darn.
It's water.
Is it salt water or is it fresh water?
It's salt water.
Okay.
Bug
And as
very dejectedly is gonna turn around and get back to the group.
So as you walk towards the edge of the beach, you walk towards this lighthouse. Based on the light that you saw, you would have expected it to be kind of far away. But you come upon it rather quickly. And you see in front of you a big rocky boulder with a lighthouse sitting on the top. But much to your dismay, this lighthouse is about 3 feet tall.
It's just my height.
Out in front of it, you look into the sea, and you see a ton of boats. And some of them are little wooden boats, and some of them are little paper boats, floating around.
You
Nick
guys.
goes over and pokes one. It's like, is it real?
They're real, but they're about this big.
Picks it
This
up.
is my dream.
Yeah, Rocky is delighted.
I know.
This is adorable.
I wonder what the load capacity is on these boats.
Not very big.
No.
I'll try standing on one of the boats.
Then it sinks.
Oh, now I have soggy feet.
Well, you were shoeless, so just because the cuffs of your pants are now soggy.
Bug's gonna go grab 2 of the paper boats and put one on her head, and then immediately walk over to Rocky and just like hand it to her.
I'm gonna take it. I enthusiastically take it and also put it on my head.
And then Bug's gonna like arm in arm with you and just stand there.
Ooh,
It's the
how
best
do you
day of
guys
Rocky's
know?
life.
Yeah, how do you guys know there's not like tiny people on these boats? And Robin's gonna go and like very, very like carefully look at all the boats extremely closely. Just be like,
Heinrich looks very alarmed. Did I just sink a Titanic?
I'm suddenly holding my head very still. Moving
Robin,
all-
roll perception. Roll me a perception check or an investigation.
Oh god. He's actually rolling perception for this. We are in trouble.
wait, do you want perception? You want investigation?
Either one.
Oh, okay. My perception's better, so I'll. Oh yes.
And there are most definitely no people on these boats. In fact, there's nothing on these boats. They're just little tiny toy boats. But you do notice that if you look, they're almost like making formations. They're fighting with each other. And some of the boats look a little weird. They're odd shapes. Some of them are like square. They're not really boat shaped. Other ones have like big holes in the side and are struggling to stay afloat.
I'm gonna take one of the square boats, pick it up and be like, I don't even know how this works, but I can tell you there were lots of tiny people on those boats when I looked at them. So you guys just got into a morally gray area.
Nick's gonna look at the boats.
I would like to roll an insight check.
Perception?
Nick, roll a perception. Heinrich, roll insight. Versus Robin, are you actively trying to deceive them? No. Okay.
Nick got
Wow.
a wave happened to splash at the wrong time and got some salt in Nick's eyes.
Nick, that's exactly it. You're a little damp now, and you just are so distracted. And Heinrich, you cannot tell if there were people or not on those boats based on what Robin had to say.
Rocky looks horrified when she thinks that there's people on these boats. That's this boat that's on her head. And so she like very gingerly removes it and examines it herself to see if there's little tiny people.
And I think since you're actively holding on to this, you can tell that there's nothing. It's just a paper boat.
I will take the boat which I covered in water. I will take it out of the water. I will begin to dry it off using my, what do I have? I have a lamp. I'll use my lamp to dry it off. And then when it's dry, I think I will set fire to it and push it out to sea like a Viking burial.
Bug, while all this is going on, is very fascinated by the shiny thing in the lighthouse. So Bug's gonna walk up to the shiny thing in the lighthouse, not White House. Can I grab it?
Well, so it looks like this lighthouse looks like functioning, but also like a toy. So there is like a little tiny like fire lit lamp on the top that's spinning as a normal lighthouse would to show the light to the boats out at sea, but it's like inside the top, so you couldn't just like grab it.
I feel like
Grab the whole lighthouse.
Bug is trying to find a way into it, so just like circling around the lighthouse, scouring. Is there like a button? Can I like vending machine it?
You see a little door, but it's like painted on. You can't even open it. Like it's fake.
Wow.
But while you're circling the lighthouse and you reach to the opposite side, you hear a crunch beneath your feet that isn't like the sand that you've been walking on.
I'm gonna look down immediately.
And at about and you look down and you are on a path that looks to be made of peppermint bark. Do you guys know what that is? It's like peppermint candy melted into chocolate.
Bug, you
And
gotta go. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And right off in front of you, you see a little wooden sign with like arrows, like a street sign.
Bugsy go, guys, I found more snacks, and immediately start trying to eat the bark on the ground. We have very high hygienic standards here.
Roll like a strength check to see if you can break apart this bark well enough to get a piece that you could actually eat.
Okay. Where are you? Oh no. I'm sorry, give me a second.
Nick goes over to investigate and just
It
looks
booted
at
me.
that, looks at sign.
Is everybody wandering over to where Bug had yelled for everyone? Are we leaving the little boats behind?
Rocky like runs
No,
over, but
no
she's still
questions,
holding
but
her
yeah.
boat. Like she's
Yeah.
still got it in her hands.
Yeah, I still have that square boat that I picked up in my hand. And I hold it like this as I, run over.
When Rocky gets over to where everybody else is, she puts her boat back on her head now that she knows there's no people in it.
And Jordan, you're able to kind of break apart with your bare hands some of this peppermint bark on the ground and shovel into pockets or in your mouth, wherever you want to put it.
I'm gonna start shoveling out the graham cracker and shoveling in the bark. Priorities.
And everybody who runs over, you also see that kind of just a little ways away is a wooden street sign.
Nick would go over and read it.
Yeah.
And you
Lord.
see there's one arrow that says lighthouse, one arrow that says town, another arrow that says castle, and an arrow straight down that says Candy Cane Lane.
Well,
And you see the peppermint bark path kind of wander off the beach into the rolling hills beyond.
Guys, let's go to the town and meet the
Yeah.
little people.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do
yeah,
it.
town's
Yes.
probably better.
Because there's probably going to be a bar and we can play music. This will be good. Yes.
Or get some
Yeah.
answers.
And just don't tell
as to where
people.
we are,
Yeah. I mean, secondary.
or why we're here.
Do you think they'll be upset that I'm wearing a boat on my head?
You
Uh,
look fabulous.
Awesome. You
And she's
too.
gonna tilt her
Like
boat
the
hat.
lighthouse, maybe they might be
do.
upset.
And so are you got all of you following the candy cane path or the peppermint bark path?
Yes, I will follow the peppermint path.
Yeah,
Yep.
towards town.
Okay.
As we walk, who's closest to Bug?
I will
Bug is
volunteer
gonna
as
start-
tribute.
I'm gonna start
probably
putting bark in your pockets, because mine are full.
In whose pockets?
In Heinrich's
Okay.
pockets.
What are you storing in my pockets?
Trust me, you'll thank me later. Just keep going. Sorry.
Okay, I guess.
Does anybody else want to be doing things as you are walking along this path?
I will be being slightly unnerved.
I'm just looking for anything. Any people, any animals, any.
I'm
Heinrich, are you slightly unnerved by Bug or by the whole situation?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
And Nick, roll me a perception check. As you guys are walking, you're following the candy cane path, and you exit the graham cracker beach, and you end up in some snowy hills. And on a 15 perception, Nick, as you're looking around, you realize that poking out from the snow from these hills, that these hills aren't made of ground. You pass one that you see is actually just a pile of knitted hats and scarves and socks and gloves. You see another, and that actually looks like maybe one of your weapons or some of your gear, almost, but not quite.
Nick would go over to the gear and start looking for at least something that would work as what he would normally have.
And you find all of your weapons, all of your stuff, but they all look like wooden toys. But it looks like your stuff. But it looks like a child's, like if you had a sword, it'd be like a wooden toy sword. Mechanically, it's gonna act just the same as your stuff, but it happens to look like a toy sword.
Well then, he'd be like, this is weird, but honestly I'm feeling a little naked anyway, so I'm just gonna start strapping stuff on.
Rocky is super excited. Like, this is the coolest thing she's ever seen in her whole life. And she's going to try and, like, taste some of the snow to see if it's really snow.
And it melts in your mouth like snow, but it tastes really sugary.
You guys have to try this.
Is it cotton candy?
I think it might be.
Okay.
Yeah, just dive face first.
And Nick go over to some of the hats and get something to cover his feet and
Yeah. So Nick, you have all of your gear, and you have now a knit pair of warm socks. But they're the hideous pair of socks you've ever seen.
The what?
They're like weird colors. The patterns don't match. The shape isn't quite right. But they go on your feet and they act like socks. Does anybody else want to look for their stuff?
I think I'm too busy playing in the cotton candy snow to like even think about my stuff. I'm way too enamored with this whole situation to even remember that I had stuff.
I will have a
Food is
look around.
priority.
Yes, I will have a look around.
Yeah. Anybody who would have any gear might want to check out this pile here, because who knows what we're going to run into, even if it is a little strange.
And everybody who's looking for it finds their gear. But roll me a perception check.
For everybody?
Everybody who's looking for their gear.
Now, please turn your back. I'll be putting on my leather pants now.
When Nick says that, Rocky goes through the pile of things as well.
What you guys, everybody's rolling pretty well for their perception. So you find everything except your shoes. Everything looks a little weird. It's either like wooden toy weapons, or armor pieces are kind of fake, maybe made of cardboard. Your clothes are all funny colors. Maybe they're now striped. But it all kind of looks like your stuff, and you realize there's a lot of stuff here from other people. It's not just your stuff.
Are there any better leather pants?
Becca, on a 5, you don't find yours. No. You find your weapons, but you are still stuck in your cotton pajamas.
I like my cotton pajamas, so I'm okay with this.
Is there anything shiny in other people's stuff?
Not really. Everything looks like it's made of wood or paper or like plain fabrics.
Okay.
I'll find a fun-looking hat for Bug. So
maybe over in the pile of knitwear, you find like a pink and blue hat with some weird stripes on it and a big pom-pom on the top.
Hey, Bug. Here. Might be better than a ship. Might be better than a boat.
Thank you! And she's going to take off her boat and look at it and look at you and say, just hand it to you. She's not going to say anything. She's just going to hand it to you.
I'll take it. Just, yeah. And just
and throw the big hat on.
I wonder if I find the skin-tight leather shirt that I've been looking for all these years. With the lace up top.
Roll a perception. We'll see if there's something like that in this pile.
There is a 17.
Yeah, you find it. The reason it's so skin tight is it's clearly not yours. It's made for someone a little bit smaller than you, but you can get it on.
Oh, this is perfect.
But it's like green, like a weird green color.
That is fine. I am happy with this.
Heinrich, I love it.
Thank you. I have always wanted one of these.
Looking fabulous, dude.
Robin, what's weird about your gear when you find it? What does it now look like?
I mean, Robin usually wears very dark gear, so the fact that it's colorful is really tripping him out. And he's just like, what's going on?
It may even have polka dots on it. Like,
Yeah.
it's weird.
So. And I feel like as soon as he puts it on, like it turns his hair a different color and everything too. He's just like not having it. He's just one cranky dude right now.
And we've passed 10 retweets. So I rolled for it, and Scrap, can you roll me a D100?
Uh, 64. 64.
And to match your new leather shirt, you find kind of a leather, nobody take this the wrong way, like a leather thong, like for your hair. Like one of those wraps.
For my hair, yes.
Yeah.
I am a mature adult, Kelly. I can do this.
Yeah, well, 2 other people laughed, so. So you also find one of those that, like, you think you might want to take with you. There's something intriguing about it.
I will take it with me. I believe I will have a use for it. But not for my hair, and I will put it into... Oh, does this leather pants have pockets?
Sure.
But they're full of peppermint bark.
Well, I will place it in my pocket amidst the peppermint bark.
And to go with your very tight shirt, you're wearing very tight leather pants too. Like,
Oh, yes.
when you put this in your pocket, you can like see the outline of it from outside. And you can also tell that your other pockets are full of peppermint bark.
Yes, you could say that I am bulging.
Anyway. Are we moving along? Are we? Does anybody else look at any of the other hills filled with knitwear before we leave?
I think Rocky's just eating as much cotton candy as she can get, basically.
Roll me a Constitution check.
Oh no. All right, so I know how to roll a d20. How do I roll like a Constitution check?
So if you have your character sheet pulled up in Roll20, you can just click on Constitution.
Oh.
If you typed it in. If you don't have it typed in, then you can just roll real dice if you want to.
Okay, I'm just gonna do it on here. There we go.
And was that have a modifier at all?
Let's see. Oh yeah, a +2.
Not quite enough. You're not like in a lot of pain, but your tummy definitely doesn't feel great.
Oh no.
It's full of a lot of sugar.
Yeah, that's fair. Guys, I don't feel so good.
I think Robin's too distracted. Robin's looking for anything that's not a cheery color. He wants a dark color and wants to find anything that has that.
Maybe in this pile of knitwear, you can maybe find like a matching set of like a hat and like a scarf and some socks. Again, they don't. The shapes are all kind of odd, and they're like a poopy brown color. but they're not a bright color. But that's the best you can find. It's kind of this really hideous brown.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Put it on. It's a little bit happier, like one level happier.
Okay. So as you continue down this path, you see another one of these signs, these road signs that has the same directions: town, castle, Candy Cane Lane, lighthouse. So you know you're still going in the right direction. This road doesn't really branch. You don't really notice anything else. But everyone who's kind of, you enter an area where you start to see a lot of trees. But they're not.
Curiosity, I go and check out the tree.
And Nick is the first to notice that these are trees made of candy canes.
Sweet.
Rocky looks excited for a second and then remembers that she has a stomach ache and kind of like she's reaching for like a branch to break it off, and then she's like, maybe not. Somebody eat some of this for me.
I'll take
Bug's gonna grab it.
Just take a little piece and just pop in my mouth, suck on it.
Okay. Nothing happens. You're just have a candy cane.
Minty.
And eventually you come across a bridge over water. And there's a lot of things you notice right away. This is a long bridge. This water is probably like 25, 30 feet across. So you can't really jump it easily. The bridge looks sturdy enough. It looks like a sturdy wooden bridge. It's got planks all the way down. It has handrails, but they're not thick. You couldn't maybe stand on them or put too much weight on them, but they'll keep you on the bridge. They're just kind of like guardrails, basically. And there is a cliff and there's water below you. Or there's a bank and there's water below you. Or what you initially looks like water. And on the edge of this bridge, there's a caution sign. And it has a doodle underneath it that kind of looks like a foot.
Just a foot? No, like, no circle line through it? Or...
Just a foot. And the big caution letters, written in very childlike, like almost like they were drawn with crayon. Caution. Foot.
Is it colorful?
Oh, what colorful?
The caution sign.
It's a wooden sign, but the drawings on it look like it was made with a bunch of different colors of crayon.
Bug is gonna walk up to it and grab it with both hands and say, "This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." She's gonna stare at it.
Rocky's gonna. She kind of wants to test the bridge for holding her weight because she's a gnome, so she's a lot smaller, maybe. Although, I don't know.
I'll get some rope and say, here,
Yeah.
Jason Paul.
Okay, all right. Rocky's gonna tie the rope around her waist, and like hand the other end to Nick, and then like gingerly step onto the bridge.
Okay. Are you looking at the bridge first, or are you just gonna go?
She's just gonna go. She's a goer.
Okay. Roll roll a Constitution again.
Oh no.
So it hurts, but you don't take any like damage from how much it hurts. But when you look down, you realize that this bridge, you're walking on actually like wooden blocks with little pegs on the top. In real life, you would describe them as Legos, and it hurts.
Ouch! She's gonna jump back off of the bridge. Guys, Guys, that hurts a lot. Don't do that.
I feel like that has snatched Bug's attention. She's not staring at the caution sign anymore. Now she's very fascinated about the bridge. She's gonna get on all fours and crawl, but not get on the bridge. Just get really close to it.
And you see that it looks like, as far as you can see, this bridge has like little wooden blocks on it with these little pegs on it that looks like it'd be very painful for bare feet to walk on.
I'm gonna take a step on it with my sock covered feet, see if it hurts.
Roll a Constitution check, but add up extra +1 for wearing the socks.
Okay, it's gonna be 15.
So 15. And again, and it hurts, but it doesn't do any damage, but it does hurt. And you do see that these blocks covered like this bridge, like.
Is the bridge made out of them?
It's yeah, pretty much. It's like pegs all the way down. It looks like it's gonna be rough to walk on.
How wide is the bridge? Like, how you said there's like some kind of railing on it? How wide apart?
Probably 2 people could walk side by side down the bridge. 2 human-sized people. Maybe 2 and a gnome. But the whole bridge is covered with these little pegs.
Even the railing?
Not the railing, but the railing is very small.
Okay.
Bug is gonna pull her hat down really tight and say, I'm going in. And she's gonna lay down on her stomach. And she's gonna try to army crawl across the bridge.
Be careful.
It's gonna. Great.
Do you have any thoughts about
Yeah.
this bridge?
Heinrich is most confused. However, he is also a line mason in his spare time. So, do these small squares look as though you could build something with them?
You do imagine that with some time, you could probably take the bridge apart and build something else.
Not thinking of that, could I just instead maybe take the ones which are going to be painful and maybe make a nice flat wall out of them, if they look like something that my headcanon is making them look like, and flip them on the side?
You could. It would take a little bit of time, but you could do it.
What about if I brought my mason's tools with me?
It would take less time, but it would still take 20 minutes.
Okay, well, look, the bridge, it is currently dangerous, but with 20 minutes time, I could make it into a safe bridge. However, this will mean standing around.
And what's everybody's passive perception? 9?
13.
14.
10.
15.
And Bug, because you're kind of on your stomach getting ready to go, you're also closest to the water. And you realize it's not moving.
Guys, the water's not moving.
This is most peculiar.
What?
Is it ice?
Is it like rippled, like flowing water, but just not
It
moving?
looks like there's areas where you see that there's like a rock sticking out and there's like white water, like a wave or like a ripple would be. Anybody who wants to kind of really get down and kind of look, maybe go up to the edge of the bank and look at the water, can roll me a perception check. Or an investigation.
I
Alright.
would like to do this, yes. Nick
Nick would already be partway across the bridge because, when she started going to the ground, he just said, F it and go.
So Jordan and David, and Becca, was that yours too? Oh, are you investigating too?
Becca, or not Becca, wow, that's me. Rocky would be looking for like a pebble or something, or like a small rock that she could like drop into the water from.
Okay, and you can find one. And both Jordan and David, though, you said you're kind of on the bridge, so
like he's not Nick's not really looking at the water so much. He's just walking across.
Okay.
Like,
So Jordan,
just feeling with the
you
pain.
notice that this is not water. This is definitely Jello. And the little waves that are on the rocks look like they're not actually like white water. It's like whipped cream. And Rocky, as you find this pebble you're looking for, and it means you have to kind of get down to the bank. And off to one side, you notice that there's actually ducks, toy ducks. There's like a big duck and then a string of like little ducks behind her. They're all tied together with a rope, wheeling around, kind of on the top of this thing, quacking. But they look like the ducks are kind of odd sizes. They don't all match. They're purple instead of yellow. But there are ducks wheeling on the top of this Jello. And since Nick is partway on the bridge, roll me another Constitution check to see how your feet are doing. With the extra +1 for the socks.
Ooh.
And you take 3 points of damage because your feet and your ankles hurt. Your knees are tied up from trying to deal with the pain of walking on the fantasy Lego bridge.
How much was that? 3?
Yeah. So what is everybody doing? We've got Nick out on the bridge. We've got Bug kind of on her stomach investigating the water. Heinrich's thinking about building a wall. What do we do?
I'm gonna say, guys, look at the ducks. There's ducks.
Yeah, great.
Bug with her mouth full is gonna say, "Yeah, look at the ducks."
Nick's
Am I
gonna
close
speed
enough to
up,
the
just
water?
kind of start jogging a bit.
Ouch.
Rocky, what did you say?
I was gonna ask am I close enough to the water? Like, does Rocky know that it's Jello?
Yeah. If you've dropped the rock in and it's kind of bounced off the top, you know that it's Jello.
Guys, I don't think this is water. I think this is Jello.
Rocky, shh! Don't tell anybody.
Why not?
Because then we have to share.
You guys can have it.
I look down and see how far this river goes. I'm like, I think there's enough for all of us.
If you insist. But I told you so.
I'm going to take my pickaxe from my mason's tools.
Mm-hmm.
It is just a regular pickaxe, not a diamond or emerald pickaxe. And I will go and I will hack at maybe the ground somewhere and just see what happens.
Roll a perception check. And as we've got Nick wandering off, we've got the other three kind of not sure what to do about this bridge. Heinrich digging at the ground and thinking that it's ground. You guys all hear another and a twinkle in the air.
Who is
This
that?
is fun!
Show yourself,
just gonna
whoever
start
you are.
laughing.
Nick stops at the other end of the bridge.
Rocky thinks it was Bug. Was that you?
What? Bug's just rolling because she thinks that everybody's laughing and she doesn't want to like not fit in. And so then when Rocky asks if it was her, she's very thrown off and just like casually starts eating the Jello again.
Guys, if this is Jello, I bet we could slide across it.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yeah, Robin's gonna jump onto the Jello.
Okay, so Robin, what race are you playing?
I'm a halfling.
Okay, so as you jump onto this Jello, make a strength check to see like how forcefully you're jumping. We were looking for for a low roll there. So you sink into this jello like up to your shoulders.
Oh.
Maybe if I eat my way through, I could do this.
Seeing
is
this,
sitting on the ground on the other side, rubbing his feet, sees that and it's like, for crying out loud.
seeing this, is there any of the whipped cream nearby?
Yes, you could probably find some nearby.
I would like to take the whipped cream. I will lather it all over my leather-clad body to act as lubrication so that I may dive forward first onto the jello like a luge diver.
And because I really like that, you make it across.
Bug
It's
thinks
not
that's-
pretty and it's not graceful, but you get to the other side. So Nick and Heinrich have made it to the other side. Robin is stuck maybe like 8 feet out into the water, up to her shoulders in jello, but she's slowly nomming away, getting loose. How are Rocky and Bug gonna get across this river?
I think when I see Heinrich go across, I look at Rocky or at Bug like, we've got to do this.
Bug is gonna enthusiastically agree and go get the whipped cream.
Yeah. Rocky's following her for sure. Also eating a little bit of the whipped cream.
I feel like though, when I get to the whipped cream, I don't just like casually hand it to you. Like, we're snowball fighting this out. Like, she's throwing it.
Rocky dives into it like a big, like it's a pile of leaves. She is like rolling around in it and throwing it
like
also at Bug.
I'm also putting it in my hair because I feel like everything belongs in my hair. We're ready.
Yeah.
Is anybody going to try and stop their slide to help Robin get out of the jello?
It's every man for himself.
Nick is gonna tie rope around his belaying pin and kind of toss it out to Robin.
It's okay. I got this.
Nick,
I'm gonna
roll Dex to see how accurately you get this rope out to Robin. Did I break Scrat? I don't know what happens happening.
of course.
It doesn't quite, it's not like it lands in her hands, but it lands close enough that now that she's eaten one arm free, she can reach out and grab the rope if she so chooses. She has made quite a bit of progress on the nomming, but your stomach is starting to hurt.
Just grab on. I'll pull you the rest of the way free.
But I want to find the alcohol that's in this jello.
There probably isn't any.
World's biggest jello shot.
We'll see if there's an
never know.
eggnog fountain somewhere, and you can have alcohol that way.
If I take this rope, do you promise I'll get my alcohol?
I will do my best to get you some alcohol in whatever form I can find it.
You know, Robin's not smart enough to like realize that isn't a yes necessarily. So he's like, okay, I'm getting my alcohol. And I'll grab the rope.
Roll a strength check. This is gonna be pretty low. Robin is a halfling. Yeah, and you are able to pull Robin out, no problem. Bug and Rocky, fully covered in whipped cream at this point, managed to belly slide across the Jello River and reach the other side.
Rocky just screams, "Wee!" the whole time.
I feel like Bug is posing as she slides so that she can slide and look
Nice.
up and go, "What's up?"
Sliding, but fashion.
Yes.
And you all make it to the other side. You're able to find the peppermint brick road again. But Bug, Rocky, and Heinrich, you realize that you are kind of sticky. Because you are all still, a lot of it has rubbed off on the Jell-O, but there's still kind of bits of whipped cream everywhere, especially Bug in your hair. And
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there still peppermint bark available? And can I stick it to myself?
If that's what you so choose to do, yes to both.
I will empty my pockets of peppermint bark and give it to Bug. I see why you wanted this. Now here you go.
She's gonna start creating a tiara in peppermint bark on her hair.
Roll like a performance or something to see how accurate this looks. How much does it look like you just have peppermint bark sticking out of your hair, and how much does it look like a crown? and this is a convincing looking peppermint tiara.
Rocky loves it.
Well, shall we continue on?
Yes, let us carry on. Where are we headed to anyways? The town, right?
The town.
Yeah, the town with the little peoples
And the
that
tavern
were
and
on
the
the
beer.
boats.
Yes, and
Yes,
the beer kennel.
yes.
Oh, is my boat still on my head?
I will say that it's kind of stuck there due to the amount of sugar that you're currently covered in.
Okay. Okay.
Oh no, your boat has gone a little bit soggy.
No, it's okay. It's lovely.
It's just a little
Perfect.
floppy at the edges.
Bug at this point is nibbling little people figurines out of the bark to stick them in her boat.
Yes. Yes. Rocky loves this. She's all for that. Make me a captain. Make me a captain.
At this one, I feel like she doesn't quite get it right, so she just puts a piece
Nick will
in it. Goes,
give her an idea of what to shape to make it. Like,
And so we continue on decorating ourselves. So covered in sugary decorations, or at least 3 of our party. One with slightly feet, and another. Robin, you are shoulders down. You've got Jell-O residue. Like, it's in weird places. Yeah.
Beg your pardon.
And you continue on, and up ahead, you see town. It's getting close.
rather quickly, right?
Yes. And again, you have that same feeling of looking like you see all these little houses, you see the road through the middle, and normally you would expect it to be really far away, but you come upon it really quickly. And as you look out over town, you see the tallest of you, the taller of you, so not our gnome and not our halfling, sadly, can see quite a bit of town. Like, you can get a good idea of the layout. There's kind of a main road through, there's a few other side roads, there's a big town square in the middle with a fountain, and off to one end there is a castle. And compared to this town, this castle is gigantic. It's not gigantic for a castle, but it looks like you could actually get inside of it. Like, you could actually walk into it. And all the houses around you are different sizes. Some of them are really, really tiny, like dollhouse size, kind of 3 feet tall. Some of them are even smaller than that. Some of them are bigger. And you take a look, and this is a bustling town. There are patrons everywhere.
There are actually people moving around? Like actual people?
Roll me a perception check to see if they're people.
Instant suspicion.
And you immediately notice that some of these are shaped like people because they're dolls. You also see little wooden dinosaurs. There's a teddy bear over in one corner. There's a stuffed owl bear over in another corner. Everybody seems very jolly and going about their business. But they're not people. They're all toys.
But they're moving.
you hear the hustle and bustle of town. Things are happening, and you can even, with a 20, you can even read the big banner that's across the town square from here, and it says, "Welcome to the Island of Misfit Toys."
Island of Misfits.
Island of Misfit Toys?
It's my type of place.
Okay.
Everybody act casual.
How do I act casual?
Rocky
gonna-
immediately panics.
I'm gonna kind of kneel down next to one of the toys and see if I can, say, "Hello. Can you understand me?"
And you're kneeling down kind of to somebody who looks like it's like a doll who looks like she's kind of waiting by the entryway to town. She says, "Hello,
Hi.
welcome to the Island of Misfit Toys. This is the town of Misfit Toys.
Okay. What? What was that? I didn't hear your last thing.
Oh, said this is the town of Misfit Toys. How can I help you?"
Well, I was gonna ask where are we, but we're obviously on the Island of Misfit Toys. How do we get home? Back to where we came from.
Oh, I don't know that. We occasionally get real life people here, but it's not too common. My orders are to tell you to head to see Queen Theodora.
And I'm guessing that's up in the castle over there.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything we should watch out for on the way? I mean, don't step on anybody, of course, but
That would be very appreciated. Although our toys have gotten pretty good at dodging the way of real people's feet. In general, the Island of Misfit Toys is often pretty safe. We've had a spot of trouble recently, but there shouldn't be anything to worry you.
what kind of trouble?
Oh, occasionally we get a bad toy that gets dropped off here. And we had a round of bad toys.
What type
Queen
of toy?
Theodora has taken care of them. They usually get put in the dungeon underneath the castle.
Okay. As we were walking around, we heard at least I heard somebody laughing and say, "This is fun." But any idea what that's about?
She says, "I don't know anything about that."
Does that sound a lot like what we heard?
No. I just
Okay.
have a very limited number of voices.
Another question. Do you guys have any alcohol around here? Like eggnog or...
You'd be surprised how many of the people ask that question. You should try the fountain. If that would be my suggestion.
Okay. We'll do that as we go through. And if anybody else didn't hear it, was too distracted to hear that, I'd kind of share the gist of it. So,
Miss, please follow the rest of Candy Cane Lane straight up through town to the castle and mind your step.
okay.
Where's this? Oh, as we go, Robin's gonna go up to her and be like, "Where is this fountain again?"
I'd say I'd kind of point in the direction because I'm tall enough to see.
We're making a pit stop, guys.
Of course.
And
Yes, I could use a dip in the fountain to clean myself off.
It's not
But
that
first,
kind of
let me-
fountain.
Let me drink it first.
Do you not use alcohol for cleaning? Is that not where you want it?
I use it for cleaning my insides, my soul.
I see.
Is that not what you use it for?
But at the moment, I want to use it to clean my suit.
Well, that sounds like a you problem. You're gonna have to wait a minute there.
I will be gracefully accepting.
And Rocky and Robin, you don't get you're not quite tall enough to see over all the buildings to get the layout of town, but you can clearly see this castle because it towers over everything.
I'd offer kind of to lift someone up if they wanted to take a look around.
Can I sit on your shoulders?
Sure, why not?
Yes.
I'd bring him up and just kind of ignore the squishiness of the jello
Yeah. Sliding around.
and try not to think about it.
Yeah, they are also now a little bit sticky, but it's not quite as bad.
Yeah. It distracts me from the soreness of my feet.
To do that for you, yes.
Yeah.
Rocky's fine down here.
Move on.
Okay.
But
And as you head through town, carefully trying to dodge the toys hustling and bustling up underneath you, but it seems that they're pretty good at it. You hear whispers of, "Thank God they never show up with shoes." And you get into the main square of town, and in front of you is this big fountain. Well, like a
Medium.
4-foot tall fountain.
I feel like as we're going, Rocky is like smiling and waving at everybody. She just like she loves all of them.
And there's a doll that waves at you, but you can see that she's got one pigtail and one no pigtail. There's a 3-legged dinosaur stuffed animal that waves at you. There's like an orange snowman toy thing, and it like lifts up a stick arm and kind of.
She's delighted.
Bug is very close to Rocky, but she's pulled her hat down where it's just barely above her eyes and is casually trying to make as little is trying to be very incognito, but not like super sneaky. She just doesn't want to make eye contact with anybody. She's very like unsure of all the tiny things moving around. Because if it's smaller than her, it's foreign. She doesn't know how to feel about
That
that.
includes Rocky.
Are you smaller than me?
I'm a gnome.
I am too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hang on a second. Is anyone here taller than 4'5"?
me?
Because I am a dwarf, so you are the tallest of us.
We're Santa's elves.
Oh my god.
Our gnomes may actually run into toys that are roughly their size.
Okay. Well, I'm cool
That's
with
my
those.
favorite.
Anything else? I don't know.
And you enter the main square, and it's hustling and bustling, and there's this fountain that's spewing beautifully in the middle. There's shops along both sides selling things like gingerbread cookies and cake pops. Medieval cake pops. And
They seem to be the latest thing.
They're everywhere.
Sweet
Nick
culture
needs to
engineering.
go to the fountain.
and Nick wants to move to the fountain.
Yep. And just, watch my step, but once he's there, kind of give it a sniff. See if it's...
And thanks to your previous inspiration, it is most definitely eggnog.
I'm gonna just jump off and like swan dive into it.
Oh, I see. So do not clean
Okay.
yourself in the fountain. Well, let me drink for it first. So then she goes and jumps in the fountain, just like I was going to do.
I mean, to be fair, I don't
I'm
think you're gonna
drinking
get very clean with eggnog.
Also, it was a technicality. I'm still drinking this. My mouth is wide open as
Nick
stuff
would
is like dripping
look
out of it.
around for see if there's a cup or something he could use. Are there any
And-
cups around here?
And as you ask, another little doll wanders up to you and pulls a cup. They actually kind of have a cart behind them that is full of cups, and they're people-sized cups, not doll-sized cups. And they hand one to you.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
just drop it off in the basket at the other end of the square.
Okay, thank you. And you just scoop up a thing and just kind of take a swig.
Can I have one too?
Hands you another cup.
I have a very important question. Is there a gingerbread man around?
You don't see any gingerbread people. You do see a teddy bear selling gingerbread cookies, though.
Well, I suppose that too will remind me of home. I will go and speak to the gingerbread vendor.
And Rocky, you need lift it. How tall actually is the edge of the fountain?
Yeah. Can I get a cup into the fountain?
You could probably get a cup into the fountain.
Okay, yes.
And Heinrich, you wander up to this teddy bear, who's like, 1 copper will get you 2 cookies.
Yes, I'm sure, but tell me, what do you do for fun around here?
Well, we do all the normal things. We go to the tavern, we play lots of games.
Yes. And do you have a band that plays in the tavern?
Oh, some nights the toad warblers come in, but we also have the occasional festival. People sometimes play music here in the square. We're all kind of jolly. Whatever makes you happy is what's happy here.
This sounds heavenly. I will return to my party. Thank you for your time. I'll pass him a
Does
copper.
Heinrich have a tuba with him?
Heinrich was able to find all of his gear. If that happened to include a tuba, he has his tuba.
Yes, I have been walking along with the tuba. In fact, I did the slip and slide with the tuba on. Physics be damned.
Is it a concert tuba or is it a marching tuba?
We'll say it's a marching tuba now.
I'm just picturing this massive tuba because these people are all super tiny. This tuba, you could probably fit them in it.
Yes, I could fire them across the square.
Please don't do that thing.
You also now proudly have 2 gingerbread cookies. And Robin, can you roll me a constitution check to see how well you're handling all of this eggnog?
Bite its head clean off.
And you are handling this eggnog surprisingly well. You're still completely in control of your functions, but you are even stickier now. And your stomach kind of hurts. At this point, you've consumed a lot of sugar.
Nick would finish his first cup and scoop another one. And so now that we've had a chance to stop and drink, shall we head on?
No, I think I have found my home.
I'm not done drinking.
They have music and fun and sweeties everywhere. Why would we want to leave?
I think there's a reason we were brought here.
To have fun.
I think there might be a reason beyond that. That nice toy back there mentioned a spot of trouble, and maybe got loose. So
Just one spot? Not
well,
two? If it's just one spot, happens to everybody.
I mean,
Yeah,
I understand your concern. Yes, there's probably crime in the area when you're considering moving into a place like this. But there's crime in all the areas, so we just have to make do.
well, I'm saying go up to the castle, see what's going on, and when we get it cleared up, then you can decide to stay here or go home or.
I see what you are saying, Nick. Go and petition to the castle for a place to stay. I agree. Let's go.
Because even with your dwarfish stature, Heinrich, you know that you're not going to be able to comfortably get into any of these houses.
I didn't need you to point it out like that, though.
There might be 1 or 2 that Rocky and Bug could squeeze through the front door, but you're not gonna find a place to stay inside here.
Well,
So
then
are we?
I suppose we head to the castle, right?
Once Nick's done with his cup, we'll make sure to put it in the indicated basket because they're nice enough to give it to him. So.
And a little wooden duck kind of waves a wing at you when you drop it in the basket and says, "Thanks."
Yep, no problem.
And so are we all heading on to the castle?
Robin waits till he's sure everybody goes, and then climbs out.
When Rocky sees the duck waving at Nick for putting his cup in there, she also enthusiastically puts her cup in the basket and then looks around to see if there's any other people that she can take their cups and put in the basket too, because she just wants to wave at this duck.
It doesn't look, besides your party members, there doesn't look like to be anybody with these cups around. They look a little too big for your average average citizen of this town. But when you put the when you put the mug in the basket, the duck does wave and goes, "Thanks."
You're welcome.
And Robin, as you step out of this fountain, you are dripping eggnog. And as you walk ahead, you leave a little eggnoggy trail behind you. And can you actually roll a dex to see how well you manage to not slip on the peppermint bark trail while covered in eggnog? And you are slipping and sliding around for at least probably like 10 feet or so until most of the eggnog seems to have rubbed off. But you may have some bumps and bruises. Maybe have fallen on your face once or twice. It's not pretty. And anyone looking back at you may have a tough time knowing if it's the physical eggnog or the consumption of the eggnog that's causing this. Broke 2 of them. I'm on a roll. And we continue on to the castle. You get up to the front gates, and this is huge. You can definitely walk into this castle. Again, it's not the size of like a real life for y'all's castle, but it's like a big manor house size. Like it's big compared to everything else. And out front,
made out of? Sorry, what's it made out of?
You can investigate.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Okay.
Sorry, let me see if I have any modifiers.
Be careful. Don't damage anything.
And I don't know how many of y'all are bakers, but they actually, like, there's like baking paints basically that are edible. And this looks like Rice Krispie painted gray. But as you walk up to the front gates, even though it looks like you see 4 3.5 feet tall toy soldiers standing there. So these guys are big for toys. And they've each got a spear. However, some of them have polka dots. Some of their spears aren't really straight. They're kind of wobbly. One's missing his hat. But they're all standing there at attention.
Hi.
Buck's gonna walk up to the one that's missing its hat and take off her hat and put it on his head.
Roll something for how well this comes out of your hair.
Oh no.
Because it was glued in with whipped cream.
Is that a strength?
Sure. Whatever feels right to you. And you're able to get this out. Your hair's now kind of sticking in all different directions, kind of glued into place almost by this drying Jello whipped cream mixture.
I'm
But
fabulous today.
You put the peppermint tiara on this soldier's head, and he like.
I'm gonna wink. And look.
I saw that
Here we
smile.
are.
You are in there.
And out of the front of the door comes this little stuffed mouse. And it says, "Hello,
Hello.
are you here to see Queen Theodora?
I believe we are.
Yes.
May I have your names and appropriate titles so I can introduce you?
You can't have them.
Can I know them?
Oh, I guess so.
Thank you.
I am Nick
I'm
Dawson.
Bug.
Hello, Bug. Hello, Nick.
I'm Rocky Fluke Bell.
Hello.
Heinrich Enkel, tuba extraordinaire.
Yes, sir.
Robin.
Hello. Walk this way. And he kind of
Talk this way.
Yes.
Heinrich might be getting an idea for a new tune.
Oh, it'd be a remix of the Arrows chocolate. Do you have arrows where you guys are from? The people that make the arrows, they are known as arrow smiths.
And as you enter, as you enter the lobby, below you is a red carpeted floor. You're in again, it's the size of a manor house, but it looks castle decor-y, stone walls, tapestries. And you're led by this mouse toy into the throne room. And he announces each of you. Your Majesty, may I announce Nick, Bug, Rocky, Robin, and Heinrich Inkel, tuba extraordinaire. The newest people to have graced our presence seek an audience with your grace. And he bows low, snout touching the floor.
Nick would bow.
Yeah, also Rocky bows.
I will play a little ditty.
I'm gonna salute.
But Robin bows and then like a bunch of eggnog spills out of his like clothes.
And as you approach the throne, you see this large royal red velvet throne, and sitting upon it is a white stuffed polar bear wearing a crown. And Queen Theodora snaps her fingers, and all of you are clean.
Ah, I see you understand the prestidigitation. It is very good.
I found it to be the most...
For?
Do I still have my boat?
Yes. You have all of your snacks and toys. You are just not sticky anymore. And Bug, you even find that there is one last piece of Jell-O stuck in your hair.
Oh, no matter how much you prestidigitate, the smell of sour milk never goes away. True
Bug's
story.
a little bit more appeased with the situation now that she notices like there's still hope. So we're good.
And the queen says, yes, I found that when people come here, they often arrive, well, sticky. And it was most useful for me to learn that, because I'd rather my throne room not be in such a state.
You do not like to be sticky?
Not particularly. I'm stuffed and covered in furry-like substance.
You should try it sometime. It's all the
Sounds like
rage.
a good time, really.
Really fun.
It's dirty.
And she just kind of like, okay then. Well, welcome to the Island of Misfit Toys. I am able to answer any and all of your questions.
How did we get here?
Why are you called misfits? You are a mouse. How do you not fit?
Can
She's
I
a
have
polar
kid
bear.
top?
Or a polar bear? Even better. Perhaps you're a polar mouse. Or a mouse bear.
So many questions, so many
Do you like
words.
Alcohol?
Can we stay here? I realize we're not waiting for any answers. We're just throwing more and more questions at you.
And she said, and you, another toy soldier that's sitting next to her stomps his staff on the ground. And she's like, yes, questions. And she waves to someone off to the side, and another toy mouse brings out a tray. It's like 4 toy mouses bring out a tray on top of them that contains a mug of ale and a cake pop. And then she replies, Heinrich,
Yes.
if you would like to stay, you're welcome to, although I can't guarantee how long you'll actually stay. I'd be happy to have you here. We could build you a home, but sadly, humans are people, real people, are only brought here by the fairy dragons. And they decide when you go home.
And hang on a second, let's just backtrack a few words there. Fairy dragons?
Yes.
Now, I believe this will open a whole new line of questioning for all of us.
Do
At this
fairy
point,
dragons
Bug is gonna
tend
start
to-
being a dragon.
Do fairy dragons tend to giggle mysteriously, wherein you can't see them?
Yes, they enjoy their little games, one of which is to bring people here. But usually they only bring people after we've had an arrival of a troubled toy.
Oh,
Have you had one?
Yes, recently we had a troubled toy arrive. We find that often these troubled toys, well, they've gone sour. They're misfits because they've been left behind.
yes, they spend too much time in the whipped cream.
I see you crossed the river.
It was quite fun.
They did it the
Delicious.
fun way.
It did leave me rather stuffed, though.
And I would like to know, as the GM, Robin, when you were a small child, what was your favorite toy?
Oh gosh. I think Robin has always, I guess it's not really a toy, but he's always had an affinity for cards or anything that I guess any like magic-y type of stuff. So like small little magician figurines probably would like. He probably had a little figure of a magician that he kept by him when he was younger.
Would it be possible that he would have a stuffed rabbit he would try and pull out of a hat?
Absolutely.
What would be the name of this rabbit?
Ooh, probably Robin.
Robin was Robin the rabbit.
Yeah, and the magician's name was also Robin, by the way.
And Queen Theodora says, yes, we've recently had an arrival of a stuffed rabbit, very grumpy, that has been left behind. I believe he actually calls himself Robin, although he doesn't seem too happy about it. He's in the dungeon at the moment.
Where's the dungeon?
Oh, it's through that door and down the stairs.
Can I? Robin's like inching that way, and he's like, can I go?
Well, there are other toys that have arrived as well.
Nope, that's all the only one I care about.
And you can try to inch, but the door she has indicated is guarded by 2 toy soldiers. Rocky, what was your favorite toy?
I was gonna say that Rocky's favorite toy was like one of those like rainbow slinkies. Except she wasn't patient enough to like learn how to make it walk down the stairs. She just kind of like flung it places and it got tangled up a whole bunch.
Queen Theodora says, in the last arrival, we've also had a black slinky toy. But it's all knotted and it can't quite slink. It too seems to feel abandoned.
But is that mine?
I don't know. Often, the fairy dragons bring humans who might have previously owned the toys. But usually they bring along some extras. It's hard to say. They're not always accurate in their guesses.
You know, I got really good at untangling slinkies over the years. Can I try to fix it?
I mean, if you all think that you could help our toys, we would love to be able to have them in our town, but we just can't let them loose in their current state. They're just too angry.
You know what? I wonder if they're hangry. Got any snacks we could give them?
And another set of mice come out with a full tray of cake pops.
Bug is gonna casually take it and pretend like she's gonna share, but start discreetly eating them.
Whoever came up with
Snack went off of it.
whoever came up with the idea of these, they must be making a killing out there.
Yes, a Star runs the local cake pop shop. She has the best.
A star.
Yes. She's a toy buck. Anybody get it? Nope. Anyway, yes, if you think you can help Scratch is coming. Two more.
I got it.
Three more. Starbuck makes cake pops.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
That was so good.
Yeah, this is awful. Who wrote this?
We're the worst.
Sorry. And Queen Theodora responds, she's like, if you think you can help our toys, I'll let you downstairs. And she motions and the two toy soldiers move out of the way.
Rocky makes a beeline for the door.
It follows. Yeah, might as well help if I can.
I assume Robin is also heading to the door. It's probably already standing next to the door.
Yeah.
I will follow, but I will play a little ditty.
Bug's got the tray of cake pops and is casually walking, making sure that the bear can't see that she's eating them. And also, like, making sure nobody sees that she's eating them because she really doesn't want to share. Well, she has to, but...
Queen Theodora knows for sure that you're eating all the cake pops. She doesn't care, though.
That's good. And as I finish them, I'm sticking the sticks in my hair.
Of course you are. I will play a marching tune while we walk. I can get incredibly high on this tuba.
Well, for it to be small enough that you could carry it, gotta be a little bit of a higher pitch.
Oh, you'd be surprised. There's tubas this big that still have the regular pitches.
Well, it is also Island of Misfit toys, so it's a toy tuba.
Yeah.
Toy-ish.
And you head down into the dungeon. And it has several toy soldiers guarding different cells. Behind these cells, you see a lot of different toys. They're all kind of bruised and broken and sad and angry. And they lead you down towards 2 cells at one end. One containing a white stuffed bunny, and one containing a slinky, and a toy short bow with a broken string.
Nick would look at the bow and be like, "Hi. How'd you get here? Or when did you get here?"
Nothing.
She kind of just wants to like reach out her hand towards her slinky, like making a gesture like, "Come here, old friend." And she's pretty sad.
Nothing. And one of the guards motions to you. Usually are less, anamorphic toys. They need to be fixed before they can come back. They're usually pretty quiet until they're fixed. And Robin, I imagine that you were looking at this toy bunny who's got kind of a ripped ear and is sitting very grumpily, tapping its foot.
He's just gonna run and jump on it and hug it.
And it swats you and says, "What is that?"
I love you.
Who are you?
Who are you?
You're big and weird.
Nobody's ever called me big before.
But I bet they called you weird.
Yeah, that's normal. That's par for the course. Wait, but you never answered. Who are you?
My name's Ro.
Ro? Your name's Robin.
And it looks off. Maybe it used to be. And somebody moved out of home. And their parents put me in the trash can.
Wouldn't that be the parents' fault?
Who left me behind?
Was your owner perhaps somebody who misplaced things a lot?
Maybe.
So wouldn't it make sense that he maybe misplaced you?
And it just huffs and turns its back to you.
Just gonna lie down and just, my heart's broken.
Bug is gonna walk up and give you a cake pop.
Just opens.
And then also peek between the bars, and I feel like Bug is gonna like scoot one to the rabbit.
And
then
a
just
little
stand-
furry paw sticks behind it and picks up the cake pop.
That's what I thought.
And then the bunny turns and looks at all of you. And it's like, you know what would make me happy? A good old-fashioned fight.
Who would wanna? Who would wanna fight you?
What? You saying I'm too fluffy?
No, I'm just saying that.
You think I'm just a cute little bunny?
No.
Listen, dude, I gave you a cake pop. We're Gucci.
Yeah. We have no reason to fight you.
I'd say, I'll arm wrestle. if you like.
And suddenly, you guys notice that the toy soldiers that are down here are staring at you. And not like the happy ones outside. And this bunny hops down off the bench and says, I learned a few tricks from the magician. And you guys just opened the door. And everyone, please roll me initiative, as you are being attacked by a stuffed rabbit and toy soldiers.
But I gave him a cake pop!
That he is now brandishing as a stick.
Oh no.
Not cool, man. Not cool.
Okay.
That's odd.
And let's see what we've got. We've got... Oh. So, the rabbit has the jump on y'all. And then we've got... Nick. Bug. Oh, no, we've got Nick, Becca. Nick, Rocky, Bug. And then Robin, our 2 toy soldiers. And finally, Heinrich taking up the rear as he was probably distracted by taking care of his tuba. So, you see this toy rabbit, and out of its paws come tiny little claws. And it opens its mouth and goes, chomp, chomp. And it's got actual little sharp teeth.
Oh no.
And it's going to... Oh, it's going to attack Robin. Does a 16 hit you? Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And how does Robin feel right now?
Like he just got slashed in the heart. Oh. Robin's definitely like in tears, just full on crying.
And it kind of slashes you on like the leg. It's not very big. It's kind of like bunny flops up to you.
Why?
And it's Nick's turn. What does Nick want to do?
He's gonna shoot it with his bow. Because I'm guessing there's some space, like, he's not, like, right up against it.
You can get, yeah, you can, you're probably standing back letting Robin and Bug interact with the rabbit, kind of looking at the other toys that are here.
Oh.
And that does not hit. It probably clanks, you've got the bars in the way, and probably just kind of got caught up in the bars. Becca, what would you like to try to do?
Oh man. I think Rocky wants to try and cast. Oh no. Give me a sec. Rocky is going to attempt to cast Mending on the rabbit.
Okay. You have to touch to do that, don't you?
Oh, I do, yes.
You can get up and touch the rabbit.
Okay. So she's gonna just kind of very cautiously, like hands in front of her, like, it's okay. I'm not attacking you. And she's gonna try and reach out and touch it so she can cast mending.
And it does. The broken ear on the rabbit stitches back together. But at the moment, that's all you notice.
Okay.
It still seems really angry. Bug, what would you like to do? You are in the room with the rabbit. And there are these two toy soldiers outside.
Top priority are the cake pops, so I'm gonna set those down behind me. I would like to cast Entangle on the rabbit.
Okay.
So I think I did that right. Okay. And then I'm sorry, tell me what you need me to do. Do I just click on it?
Yes, and actually, what is your spell save DC?
It is going to be 13.
And it is entangled.
Yes.
Okay. And Robin, what would you like to do? You now have a fixed, entangled bunny in front of you.
I just want to give it a hug.
Oh.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give it a hug.
And this rabbit is now got his ears fixed. He's got his arms crossed because he's all tied up. And you give it a hug. And the toy soldiers behind you stop, creeping forward. And the bunny just has a little single cotton ball tear roll down his cheek.
Oh.
And it says, I try to be mean and it doesn't make me happy. But you always used to make me happy, Robin. We used to play all those fun games. You used to pull me out of the hat. And your friends used to laugh and smile. Can I come home?
Please do. Yes. I never wanted to leave you. I just didn't know where you were. I came back and you weren't there.
I spent a lot of time in the trash. And I got thrown outside. And then one day I was here. And I was awake, and I had all these thoughts and all these feelings, and they were not happy.
I know that feeling. But hopefully I can make you happy again.
He says, okay. And he reaches out a little paw to hold your hand.
I'm gonna hold his hand. Yeah. I'm so happy to have you back.
What do we all do? We are in no immediate danger anymore.
Can I kind of go to Rocky, say, hey, can you, saw how you fixed that ear, can you
Yes.
arrow or bow over here?
Yeah. Rocky immediately goes and she's crying, and she casts mending. She attempts to cast mending on the bow and arrow.
For narrative purposes, because it ends up happier, it works. You can also cast mending on the slinky toy.
Yay!
And the bow and arrow doesn't have a mouth, so it doesn't really talk, but it does kind of vibrate, and you feel Nick specifically, nobody else really, but Nick gets these happy feelings off of it, like there's something smiling at him.
Nick say, I met a kid. There's a kid that was in the tavern last night that I think would really like having you.
And the string actually pings like a happy sound.
Cool. And take in, kind of put it next to my regular bow.
I would like. It was Robin that got clawed, right?
Yes.
I would like to cast Mending at level 2 on Robin, and by mending I mean cure wounds.
Okay.
The person mending.
Yeah.
And as this ping of magic goes through, Heinrich, you hear the sound of a little toy drum coming up behind you from down the stairs, and it drums really happy, and you might recognize this from when you were a kid.
Oh, not a bloody drum again. I hated that thing. Percussionists, oh.
And one of the actual drumsticks smacks you on the toe and wanders away.
Bug's gonna walk up and hand Heinrich a cake pop.
Now, Bug, these mean a lot to you, are you sure?
Looks like you need it, dude.
I thank you.
And Rocky, your slinky toy is now rainbow again, and it slinks on its own. It doesn't need you, but it does start to follow you around.
Oh, Rocky loves it so much. She runs in a little circle to see the slinky, and she keeps looking back to see the slinky following her.
But you guys are all still here.
Are there other toys down here?
There are maybe 2 or 3 other toys.
Well, nothing of importance down here.
Heinrich.
Wait, what are these other toys doing here?
Might you be willing to be able to maybe give these other toys a little fix up?
Listen, I got a limited number of cake pops, okay?
Rocky, not that.
Yeah, absolutely. I can try to mend the other toys as well, for sure.
And 1, maybe 2 of the toys look broken, and you're able to fix them, but they don't bounce back the way the others do. They still look grumpy. They're just not broken anymore.
Robin's gonna go up to one of them and just be like, "What? Are you guys okay? Did the same thing happen to you guys that happened to our guys?"
And you're talking to at the moment.
I really hope it's something that can't talk back to me, because Robin would 100% do that.
Okay. It's a little toy shield.
There you go.
And it doesn't say anything. But one of the toy soldiers does. And it says, the only toys we've seen really come back are the ones that have their people.
Why can't they have new people?
Because the new people weren't the ones that hurt them. But don't worry. Don't worry. These new toys all came in that same batch. I'm sure the fairy dragons will be bringing their people soon.
I'll hurt them. Well, looks like we can't do anything. Let's go. Let's find the alcohols.
And so you guys walk back upstairs, and you are back in the main throne room area again. And there's a party going on. There's a whole bunch of toys. Queen Theodora is now in a gown on a teddy bear. There is a band to one corner that is distinctly lacking someone playing the tuba. And there are a bunch of toys milling around. And Queen Theodora says, "Oh, I see, you've been successful." Because Robin's walking up, hand in hand with the rabbit. Nick and Rocky both have their toys slung on their backs or slinking behind them. Bug, you see these mice wandering around this whole party with trays and trays of snacks. There are snacks everywhere.
Bug is going to smile and nod at the queen as she casually backs away. Looks like she's very interested until she gets to the point where she's on the edge of the group, and then is going to immediately turn around and try to snatch as many trays as possible without looking conspicuous.
Roll something. Roll like a dex to see how many you snatch, and then sleight of hand to see how sneakily you do it.
Okay.
You managed to get you managed to get 2 different trays of snacks, probably one per hand.
Oh, can I re-roll that?
Yes.
Oh, gracious.
And it's not painfully obvious, but anyone who's actually looking in your direction knows that you're stealing snacks.
I feel like if I notice that they notice, I'm just gonna and walk away.
I think you're allowed to just grab a snack off a tray. You don't have to just take the tray and just grab something off of a nearby tray and just start munching.
And Bug is gonna she doesn't know what to say, so she's gonna go find a corner and snack at the corner.
Rocky is excitedly introducing everyone to her slinky, like she's walking up to people and be like, "Hey, look!"
And every time you introduce someone to the slinky rolls up to them and kind of it touches their foot or something, and it you get the shake hands vibe, but it's doing the best it can as a slinky that can't speak.
That's precious.
What is Heinrich doing at this party?
Well, he's playing the tuba, of course. Did the band invite him? No. Have they offered him money to go away? Yes. Is he going away? No.
And that's about how that happens.
I could make a performance check to see if I'm actually any good.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. And you do okay. You muddle along. There's some rough notes, but generally speaking, you're doing the tune that the band is playing. You're not really adding to the performance, but you're not distracting from it too terribly.
Anyone who looks at me like I don't belong, I will give them the glare. And if you want me to make an intimidation, I stacked most of my points into intimidation for some reason.
One of the toy soldiers walks up to try and drag you away.
I am just as intimidating as I am performing.
and it comes up and it just And Queen Theodora just like claps, and it backs away, deciding it's not worth its time. But it doesn't look intimidated. It's just decided to leave you there.
Well, I
Are they
showed
up on
him.
a stage?
Yeah. There's a little platform.
Bug's gonna run up and fangirl.
And as you do, I imagine the band kind of switches to like more like upbeat rock kind of music.
Not
and
more
you
upbeat. Not more upbeat. I'm gonna play the calling song of Bug, snug as a bug in a rug.
But you draw a crowd of toys that are now dancing with Bug.
Rocky and the Slinky definitely join in.
Nick's kind of just staring.
Robin,
Robin,
what is Robin and Robin doing?
Oh, so Robin takes his hat off and is putting Robin in it and out.
And Robin looks thrilled.
Yeah, they both do.
And he just keeps going, do it again, do it again, do it again.
There's no like attempt at magic either. It's just putting him in and out.
And every time you take him out, he comes out with like a ta ta. Every time. And the evening winds down, the party calms down. It's getting kind of late. And Queen Theodora says, I'm sure you all must be tired. And maybe a little ill from all the sugar. That tends to happen. I can put you up with rooms here up in the castle for the evening.
Bug's
And we
gonna
can
raise her hand.
that would be nice.
And she goes, yes, to Bug.
You got any trees? Can I have a tree?
And she gestures through one door, and a toy soldier opens it, and you see a courtyard that has this beautiful growing oak tree in the middle of it.
And Bug's gonna like quickly go, thank you! And she's gonna run to the big tree.
And each of you are brought to a bedroom. And it looks as if these bedrooms were made for whoever you were as a child. So what do these bedrooms look like for each of you?
Nick's would be, actually, it would look like a room on a ship. Like just kind of, wooden, bare wooden. It more of a hammock instead of a bed.
And beyond all physics, this room may even sway just a little bit.
Nick would just kind of go and sit on the hammock and be like, thank you.
Yes.
Rocky's room is just like super bright and colorful. Like there's just color everywhere, and it's full of toys, and the bed has like the rainbow bedspread, and it's just like it's like a paint store threw up in there.
And the room has a ton of toys. It has a lot of cushy blankets. A lot of the toys, though, look like they're going to sleep in this room, too. They're all kind of snuggled up in beds or with blankets and pillows and stuff, too, because they're all alive.
That's perfect. A big giant sleepover.
What does Heinrich's childhood room look like?
Well, Heinrich grew up underground in the underground cities. So his room is kind of dark and stony.
Is this the room he would have dreamed of as a child?
No, but the room he would have dreamed of a child. Oh, it is covered.
It's like that room.
It's covered in marshmallow.
Floor to ceiling marshmallow.
Just marshmallow everywhere. It's like a padded room, but with marshmallow.
There's furniture in this room, but it is all made of marshmallow. The bed is made of marshmallow. Somehow it manages to hold your weight, but it is still made of marshmallow.
with just leather trimmings here and there. For dignity's sake.
Robin, what was Robin's kind of dream childhood room look like?
It's just like a magic shop. And it's just all the magic stuff you can think of. And he's just he goes in and sits and just counts cards. But
you might even be visited before you go to bed by a small toy magician who stops in to say hello. And Bug, as you approach this tree, you realize there's a door on the tree that says, and a plaque that says, sleep inside or outside. What does Bug's favorite childhood dream room look like? Is it inside the trunk of this tree?
It's on the outside. The inside was for sure the toy room. But she walks, it's a big tree that has, I think it's like a willow that hangs all the way down to the ground. And she walks through the little branches, and right at the base of the tree is the roots that kind of twirl together to make almost like a little bowl shape. And on the ground where like the leaves that she usually buries herself with are these big green, like out of a storybook leaves. And she can, when she gets down in her little bowl with the leaves all over her, she looks up and there's little fireflies everywhere. And she can like turn and see like carvings that she made in the tree when she was little and things like that.
And as you each tuck yourselves into bed for the night, you have that moment right when you're falling asleep where sometimes you might feel like you're falling. It's that moment where you can't really tell if you're awake or asleep, and you all hear a little voice that says, "Do you wish to stay or do you wish to go? You will not get a second chance to leave or stay."
Hola.
And you each get to pick. Do you stay here on the Island of Misfit Toys, or do you go home?
Rocky stays. She doesn't even have to think about it. She's totally staying.
Yeah. Oh, Robin is also staying.
The voices remind you that you will not ever get another chance to go home.
I am home.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, for sure.
Bye.
Oh, there's so many snacks here. Like, she's gotta stay. I'm gonna stay. Like, I gotta stay. Cake pops.
Heinrich will also stay. No one tells him that he has to get a real job here.
Nick chooses to go home because he has this room is nice, but he has a real one to find still.
And that's fine. Some of us have greater
And he has a
ties to
toy. He has a toy to give to it.
He does have a
So
toy
that's
to
good.
deliver. In fact, with a name like Nick, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts to deliver a lot of toys. And on that, I want to know how each of you, I want us to epilogue out. We are ending a little bit early, but the epilogues will take up some time. I want us to epilogue out what does life look like on or after the Island of Misfit Toys for each of you?
I think Rocky, she's absolutely in love with this place. First of all, she just makes all the friends. And seeing how the more broken toys were kind of kept in the dungeon, I think she works to change that. And I think she works to to use her mending and use her other things to like rehabilitate these toys so that they are not troubled any longer. Like she wants to like start a program to like help these toys be better toys.
And I imagine she also kind of serves as a guide for the future people that arrive, that the
Yes.
fairy dragons bring. She helps mend the toys as they come in, and then make sure they find their people.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
It's beautiful.
Bug, what does Bug do? How does she spend her days?
Well, Bug, a long time ago, had a little stick friend that she lost. And so she spends her days scouring the Island of Misfit toys for her stick friend so they can go on adventures and find all of the snacks she's never tried before. And that's
And
cool.
a little ways outside of town, you find another very large tree. Large for a gnome, maybe not large for a human. And inside of it is a little tiny room that lives a little tiny stick friend who is very excited to see you.
Twiggy!
And he tells you about how he never was going to end up being in the dungeon of hurt toys. Because how could he be sad with someone like Bug? And you spend your days... Go ahead.
I was like, Bug's gonna pick him up, and we're going. We got some peppermint bark to chow down on, and some graham cracker sand, and who knows what else.
And you spend your days exploring every inch of the Island of Misfit toys. You maybe even make some favorite spots. What ends up being your favorite spot to visit on the Island of Misfit toys? The one we've already seen, or one that you think up?
I think that Bug's... that's a hard question. I think for sure one of Bug's favorite places is probably the beach where it all started. Just because, like, Bug is very bizarre but very sentimental about big monumental changes. And so they spend every evening, no matter where they are on the island, they come back to the beach and they just chill there and snack on the graham crackers.
Heinrich, how do you spend your days on the Island of Misfit toys?
I think it is obvious. I begin my very own brass choir with whatever instruments they have around.
Some of these instruments even play themselves.
That will do, yes. But we only have 2 rules. No xylophones.
What's the other rule?
No xylophones. Glockenspiels are fine.
What's the difference?
German engineering.
What about marimba?
And Robin, how do Robin and Robin spend their days?
Oh, Robin and Robin go out looking for all the magic toys and magician toys, and they teach them all the magic tricks, which Robin is horrible at magic tricks because he's pretty much bad at everything. And
And in
so,
fact, maybe some of the toys teach you magic tricks. They're just very sneaky about it.
yes, yes. Like, you want to pull a bunny out of a hat?
Ta! And Nick, who went back home because he had a greater calling. How does Nick spend his days?
Well, Nick doesn't stop looking for looking for what he's looking for. But just around the winter solstice, every town he's in just happens to find that presents, toys and, gifts for, get left, small gifts and such get left for lots of houses, and just usually people who wouldn't have the ability to get much themselves, but they just they disappear. And he wasn't good at it before, but he does wind up being pretty good at being stealthy. So nobody actually knows. Nobody actually realizes that it's Nick. So everybody knows the name Nick because that's what's on the tag saying, "From Nick."
And over the years, Nick realizes that he has been gifted with an extremely long life. He's able to do this for many, many years, and rumors of him reach far and wide. And sometimes he realizes he visits a house and there are already toys there from other people. Occasionally, he may run into one of these people. He may hear whispers of tales of other people who have visited the Island of Misfit toys, who have come back with other toys that need new loved ones, and have followed in Nick's tradition to leave presents for those children who cannot get toys of their own. And that is where, and that is all of the Misfit toys always find their perfect home. And that's where we're going to end today.
So
That is a little
wholesome.
quick because we broke a couple of things I wasn't expecting us to break. But that's cool.
Sorry.
That is always the way. And what an amazing show, though. That was great. So let's go round. Let's talk about who we are, what our favorite part was, and all that good stuff. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go around. We'll go anti-clockwise so we finish on the wonderful Kelly. So we'll start with a Master 101 playing Nick Gilson. Oh, hi!
I'm David. You can find me on Twitter at amaster101. Honestly, I'm just kind of random on there. I try and be positive. Yeah, my favorite part was honestly Saint Nick. I did not plan it. I had no clue it was going to happen, but I'm glad it did.
It's a Christmas miracle. Yeah, thank you so much. Next around, we have Sassy with Sander. Oh, hi!
Hi, I am Jordan, aka Sassy with Sander. Call me what you want. You can find me on Twitter, Sassy with Sander. You can also find me on Instagram, Sassy with Sanders, and coming soon to a YouTube near you on the 1st of January, under the same name. My absolute favorite part was the relationship between Bunny and Robin. Oh, made my heart so happy. It was adorable. Beautifully played. But yeah, thanks guys.
Awesome. And also Turlygirly19 said hi in chat earlier. I don't know if you saw that in Zoom chat, but
I love her.
yeah, she said hi. There you go. Next around we have the wonderful Sam M. Daz.
Hi. So you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SamMDaz. Oh gosh. My favorite part had to have been Heinrich just sliding across that jello. Absolutely great. Also all the tuba stuff, because that just was near and dear to my heart.
I didn't realize you were a tuba player when we came in. When
Yes,
you said in chat, I was
yeah.
like, oh boy,
Yeah.
I better leave out some of the jokes. Kidding.
No, they're all true.
And you can see plenty more of Sam next season on Fridays at 6 p.m. as she joins us for Revising Ryutama, where we will be bringing viewers in to come and play Ryutama, and a game that's supposed to be a sweet sort of traveling anime game, but I'm gonna have my hands on it, so I'm going to destroy it. But it'll be fun, I promise. Next around, we have Becca from the Dice Girls. Oh, hi!
Hi. Like I said, I'm Becca, and I can be found on Twitter mostly at the Dice Girls. That's the account that I'm using most nowadays. My favorite part had to have been when Bug gave Rocky the boat to like, and they just had this like bonding moment of putting boats on their heads. It was so ridiculous and so heartwarming, and I just absolutely instantly like fell in love with that moment. It was great.
Oh yeah, what a moment it was as well. Beautiful. Beautiful. You guys...
Boats on their heads. It was so ridiculous and so heartwarming, and I just absolutely instantly like fell in love with that moment.
Oh, hang on a minute. That's the stream talking. I stopped because I couldn't... I thought Becca had started talking again. I just opened up Twitch to start looking at who we were going to raid in a minute. And Becca just started talking so seamlessly. And I was like, you just said this. Why are you saying it again? So, next around, our wonderful DM, Kelly. That's free for free. Great jobs.
Thank you. I hope it was just enough feels. For everyone.
Good feels.
Yeah. I was waiting for a cute, wholesome TPK.
It could have happened. But it didn't. Hi everyone, I'm A. Kelly Lane on Twitter. You can find me popping up all over Scratch channel and a couple other places. I may or may not be playing something else that has been going around, a stream with some lovely ladies, a one shot in sometime in January. But also you can find me next season both Tuesday nights and Wednesday nights on Scraticus Academy. Tuesday nights for Curse of Strahd at 10 p.m. EST, and Wednesday nights playing Dynamo with the lovely Renee at 10 p.m. EST, which is a Weave system game I'm excited to learn how to play. My favorite part, I loved everything that happened at the river. That was wonderful. Because I set that whole bridge thing up not knowing how you guys were going to get across. I had no idea. Like, there was no grand master plan of how you should do this. I was just like, this sounds fun. And I wanted to see how you did it. So that ended up even better than I had imagined.
When you said that the water wasn't moving, I really genuinely thought we were stuck in a Minecraft world. Like, that's why I grabbed the pick and I was like, maybe I can craft a mine here. Let's see what happens. But yeah, no, the whole one shot was amazing. Thank you so much. My favorite part was the friends we made along the way. No, my favorite part was almost definitely Bug sticking every damn thing we found to herself and then filling my pockets with things as well. That took the biscuit for me, although also the occasional joke that made Sam wince. Not the ones that made Sam cheer, the ones that made Sam wince. They were also pretty high up there.
I really enjoyed having players that were into eating the scenery, because I was really hoping that would happen, but I knew it might not, and I'm like really excited that Bug and Rocky showed up to eat my scenery.
I love that end image as well at the party of like just like stop everything, Bug's here. We all know it. Snug as a bug, right? We all know it. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. That's me. So guys, social links. Go and check out our Twitter, our Discord, and our YouTube. Go and check them all out. Check out our Patreon as well. It's one of the best ways to support us. You can support us for as little as $1. Check out our merchandise. Slap that logo all over all of your things. Like, just wear it on your face. It'd be great. Check out our sponsors as well. Bird in the Storm Publishing, who are a writing company, and Mage Hand Press, who made the Dark Matter expansion for D&D 5e set in the sci-fi system. Now, I am going to go and get an early night, only half an hour early. Kelly, your timing was still good, very impeccable. I very much enjoyed it. But I actually appreciate the little bit of an early night because in, 8 hours time? 8.5 hours time, we start our 40-hour marathon streaming 30 hours of TTRPGs. We have 10 hours breaks, but we have 10 games as well. So, it's going to be fun.
I also think us and chat might need the bonus time to decompress a little after the feels. yeah,
a little bit of bonus decompression before sleep. Yeah. So tonight we're going to head over to Gilroy Almighty, who is calling himself Almighty Tales these days, which is a Australian D&D channel. Excuse me. So we're gonna head over there. He's not playing D&D at the minute. He's doing something to do with chat interaction. Looks like one of the Jackbox games or something. Quiplash? Don't know what that is, but let's go find out. Big fan of Gilroy and Almighty Tales. Good. They are good people. Yeah, so many games. Renee in chat, she's going to be DMing one for us tomorrow. Kelly's going to be DMing one for us tomorrow. I'm joking, Kelly. I'm joking. Just said it for the panic reaction.
I mean, I can. Whatever.
We'll talk in a minute. Guys, keep evoking emotions. We'll see you over there. Misfits and Fields is our raid cry. Shout it loud. We'll see you later on. Bye!